to pursuing Nazis, and he was very successful. In addition, he established the Wiesenthal Centers, which, by the way, has opened one in New York and is opening one in Jerusalem, to teach about tolerance and prejudice, not no prejudice, because that is very important for us to understand as well. The shtetl we talked about last week, a small self-contained Jewish town. Martin Luther we also spoke about briefly in one of our other classes when we talked about the church laws, a Christian theologian and reformer. He preached violence against the Jews. The Aryan race was certainly one of the questions, I think the last question on the exam. It is Hitler's ultimate race, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed race that he strove for. The Evian Conference was also on the exam. It was a conference that took place in Evian, France in July of 1938, where 32 nations, including the United States, sent delegates to discuss the refugees trying to flee from the Nazis. No nation, except the Dominican Republic, would accept the refugees or increase their immigration quotas. The little country of the Dominican Republic was the only country to accept refugees. The Einsatzgruppen were the special murder squads that were set up specifically to kill Jews. Partisans, which somebody or some of you have for your retreat report, were the freedom fighters who operated outside the authority of regular armies. They hid themselves in the forests, in the sewer systems, outside of the regular kinds of forces. The St. Louis, also a retreat report, was a ship that had 900 refugees, and in May 1939 was docked right off the coast here in Florida. People who lived on Miami Beach could wave to the people on the ship, but neither the United States nor Cuba would allow the refugees to land. Anilevich, the leader of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, Mordechai Anilevich, at the time of his death, was 23 years old. Yet he led the revolt in the Warsaw Ghetto, and really, in terms of a revolt, and we'll hear more about it from the person who's doing the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, in terms of the revolt, they were very, I don't want to say successful, because obviously they weren't successful, but they were able to gather enough momentum and enough strength to fight to the very end. And we will visit in the ghetto Mordechai Anilevich's headquarters at Mila 18. Also a good book to read.
When somebody, there's no cross discussion, in other words. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So short, you're going to share a feeling, and we're not going to have any cross discussion about it. The other thing that you have to know, and we'll emphasize it some more, is that whatever you say or do on the march, and when we say on the march, we mean in any of our march programs, from the beginning when we started here until today, until we come back from the march. Everything you say or do is confidential. Nobody is going to report you to your parents, or to your school, or to your synagogue, to your rabbi, to your teachers. Nobody is going to do that. As they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens with the march stays with the march.